How is everybody doing today? Today we're just gonna have some fun making a mini album that hopefully you can fill with pictures that make you happy. And it's really simple to put together. So we're gonna get right to it. And then as we come to an end, then I'll just talk about the future of Scrap Together Sunday a little bit. So, all right, so hold on to your hats. Let's make a flip. It didn't. There we go. All right, so we are here with our piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. And my 12 by 12 cardstock, as I put in the directions, I am using Whisper White because that's just, I liked it best for my particular book. So the first thing I want to do with my 12 by 12 Whisper White cardstock is to score it at 4 inches. We're going to make kind of a grid on our paper. And hopefully you've got your scoring tool. I did put it on the list. If not, remember you can use a ruler and you can mark your 4 inch. You can mark your 4 inch at the bottom and then use the ruler and a bone folder or something similar to score the line. But I do like my trimmer, it's quicker. And then so that I don't have to take the arm out of my trimmer, I am going to flip it and do 4 inches again. And I said we were going to do a grid. That's not exactly true. We're going to do those 2 lines. And I don't know, hopefully you can see that. And then we're going to cut at 4 inches. So I'm going to put my cardstock in at 4. And then at 4 again. And now we've got 3 pieces that are 4 by 12 and are scored at 4 inches from each side. Then we're just going to accordion fold each piece, or Z fold, however you wanna. So you've got yourself a Z there. So do that to all of them, all 3. And hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. About an hour ago, I wasn't sure I'd be here because I wasn't feeling right, and I'm not sure. I laid down for a little bit, and I think that helped. So, okay, so we've got all 3 of these now that we are folding, and go ahead and use that bone folder if you'd like. That gives you a nice crease, and then it helps your album later to close the way you want it to. So let's do that on all 3 pieces. That'll give you a minute to catch up if you got on late and wanted to do it with me today. It's hard for me to know. I know this doing an album together is harder than doing just a card together. So it's hard for me to know for sure if people are actually doing it with me or watching it later, which it doesn't really matter. Okay, so then we're going to set it up so that you've got your mountain fold on the left and your valley fold on the right. And so it's something like that. And then the same thing for the next one. And then those 2 are going to go right in to each other. So these 2 pages are going to overlap. So what I'm going to do is lay this down. And I forgot I was out of adhesive. Ah. So let me grab a refill of snail. I'm excited about the new adhesive coming, but I did have to stock up on some snail. And I knew I had my dispenser over there. All right, so then with the snail, I'm just gonna adhere those 2 pages over the top, making sure you don't overlap the fold, or you're gonna have issues there. And I am a little crooked, so I'll fix that. So accordion albums you can make as long as you want, simply by, I'm making a mess of this, so I'm gonna leave it. Simply by just attaching more and more pieces. Okay, so now we've got something that looks like that. That's pretty awesome. So we're extending our album. And then for this one, we're going to do the same thing. So we've got the valley fold, and we're going to overlap those two sections. And remember, just don't overlap that scored line or that fold line, because that will just impede the progress of it closing. Okay, so there we've got our album, but we want it to open starting this way, and we want our cover to be a little bit more sturdy. So right now the cover opens the wrong way, and in order to sturdy that up, we're going to adhere this over there. So now this part's closed over here, and it'll open this way. All right, makes sense? Okay, so we've got that right now. Okay, so we're going to start decorating with the cover, and knowing what the cover was, I just got my pieces all in order. I have my ruler here so that I can explain and tell you which designer series paper goes where, and it doesn't really matter. It's just the way I cut mine. So this is the piece that is 1 1/4 by 4. And I am using the Ornate Garden Designer Series paper from the early release. And then it'll be in the new catalog starting Wednesday. Okay, so just jazz that up a little bit. And then this 4-inch square is the same size as the cover, or as the book. So that's just going to go right on top. You can decorate that up. You can add your title, whatever it is. Now let's flip to the back, and we're going to do the same thing on the back side. So you have a 4x4. I'm not going to decorate it at all. It's just going to go flush with the back cover. So now we've got 3 layers of cardstock on the front cover, which is kind of nice. And then a couple layers on the back as well. Okay, so now let's open this up. And the next piece we're going to take is just a piece of 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. Now the reason it's such an odd measurement is because, first of all, because I wanted a white border with my white cardstock around the outside, but also because I didn't want to trim it down further, because that gives you less space for your photos. So yeah, I did do an 1/8 inch thing, and sorry, I cut 1/8 inches all the time, so it doesn't really faze me. So I'm sorry if you're not one of those people. All right, so the next piece is the 1 3/4 by 3 7/8 piece of DSP. Now you can adhere this a couple of ways. You can just adhere it flat, and then you can just put layer your picture over. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to put adhesive, and if I was really being careful, I would use my tear and tape. But I'm just going to put adhesive around 3 sides. That way it makes a little bit of a pocket so that you can stick ticket stubs or photos, or a little thing with whatchamacallit, I can't even think, journaling in there. Gosh. And then this is going to go on my next page. So you see how we've got those white borders around everything. On the supply list, I put that you needed 6 excuse me, sheets of 3 7/8 by 3 7/8 of cardstock, and that's to go on each page. All right, the next page, I'm going to go back to that really pretty mint macaron paper from Ornate Garden, and I'm going to layer that onto mint macaron cardstock. And this is just, I'm just going to put it not quite all the way to the side, but so that you could layer a picture there. And then we'll adhere that to that page. So really these pieces are simple to put together. All right, and then we'll go to the next piece, which is terracotta tile, again 3 7/8 inch squared, with a piece of the daisy paper from Ornate Garden. And let me double check to see what width this DSP is. 1.5. Okay. And for that one, let's just adhere that. We're going to add our ribbon in on the next couple pages. So get that ribbon ready. Putting the book together is the main thing, you know, and then how you decorate it, you can take it from there. All right, the next piece I'm doing is Old Olive with a little bit of our new Bumblebee color. I'm excited about the in colors. I think they're so pretty. And I can't wait till Wednesday when I can order the ink pads. That is going to be a happy, happy day when I can get all of the colors. I got the, I'm going to trim this down just a little bit. I got the Moonlight color in the Paper Pumpkin. I was excited about that. So because I want it to, I don't want it to coordinate too much. I'm going to use the terracotta tile ribbon. This is from Ornate Garden. And I'm just going to tie that around my page and make a knot. You could do a bow if you were really adventuresome today. I'm not in a bow kind of mood, so we'll just leave it like that. Okay, so just adding a little ribbon here and there will we'll dress up the album a little bit. So that goes on here. And I think we've only got one page left. That's not too shabby. You could do all kinds of fun things when you're throwing this together now and adding journaling and all of that. You just get creative, and then we'd love to see what you've done. Okay, so this last one, and I didn't, you know, as you've noticed, I don't want it too flowery, so I'm going to choose not to use that very pretty side, and that's going to go up here. I am sorry, I think I neglected to check that one piece before. This is 2 3/4 by 3 7/8. And then we're going to do, this time I am going to use a little bit of the Old Olive Ornate Garden ribbon. Now remember, or maybe you don't know, these are on back order right now, but will be available, gosh, I think it might even be tomorrow. So the ribbons are a lot of fun, and they coordinate with the paper, which I think we all really appreciate when Stampin' Up! Puts together a suite and has everything coordinated like that. All right, so then that page is ready to go on. And just looky there, we've got ourselves an album. Yay! Fun. You can add rhinestones or the gold faceted gems that come with the suite. That would be really pretty. And I just picture you could even wrap some of the ribbon around the book to keep it closed. So yeah, the hard part, I guess, is putting it together. And after that, it's not too bad. It's just adding, decorating, and using your beautiful designer series papers or your scrapbooking paper. And there we go. So thank you for joining me for this. And like I said at the beginning, I did want to just talk about the future of Scrap Together Sunday. For a couple of reasons. This is the last one for now. Just keep watching. You know, there may be a Sunday where I will pop on and decide to do one, or I'll let you know a week in advance. But for now, my Sundays are starting to fill up, and that's a good thing. I think that means life is getting a little more back to normal. Sunday afternoons are precious sometimes. So for now, that's the plan. And just keep watching. Like I said, I've got more ideas to share, so I'm excited to share more. It's just a matter of perhaps once a month or something like that. So just keep paying attention, and thanks for joining me. This was episode 6 today, and it's been really fun to bring out those old mini albums and make them new again. So thanks, and have a wonderful week. And it looks like it's going to be hot in Minnesota, so stay cool, everybody. We'll see you again real soon.